We're on the start. It's old school versus new school. This is the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup for junior men's eights. The hand goes down in the Kew House School nearest to the picture. A new school 5 years into their rowing programme or so, and they are against Shrewsbury School, one of the big names in schools rowing over the years. Shrewsbury on the left, Kew on the right.
And welcome to Henley, Kew House. What better way to start it than against one of the schools who've done Henley many times in that top-level event, the junior men's 8 event, high speed, and what a lovely way to kick off that Henley campaign.
Well, it's a tall order for Kew to be on terms here, but they've done incredibly well through the season. A small school that's growing. They competed in the National Schools Regatta in the Championship 8s, and they found it a tough event, but they were in the event. This is a tough event, but they are in the event, and this is how you build. Some very young athletes there in the Kew House School. 16-year-old Ted Chase at 5, 15-year-old Oliver Briggs at 6, 16-year-olds in the stern pair, Archie Miller and Oliver Holbrook, and well, they're giving everything they can, as you might expect.
Yeah, and I really like seeing what they've done here, which is that aggressive start, but keeping the pace really high. I think one of the races I remember from my rowing days was I rowed in a pair with a chap called Tommy Burton, racing the Kiwi pair, who were on paper much quicker than us. And I remember our plan was exactly that, this Kew House plan, which is off the start, keeping your pace really high, not really settling, and just maximising that speed for as long as possible.
And here's Shrewsbury coming towards the camera. We look back down towards the start from about the middle of the course, and Shrewsbury have already been able to sort of ease off a little bit. You can see the number of strokes per minute has gone down. They're looking very nicely loose and relaxed. And Cox, Natalia Toms, who first raced, she was the first ever Shrewsbury women's 8 Cox actually is a J15, and you can see her there. She's taken on the men's first boat here, joining us live. She looks over her shoulder, makes sure that the distance is still opening up over Kew.
Yeah, Matt, you've won the PE a few times and gone through those earlier rounds. Talk us through a little bit. Obviously, what Shrewsbury are doing right now is that they're managing that race and managing the regatta. Thinking about some of your races you had earlier on in your career and those early regattas, talk us through that.
Well, actually, I was just thinking, I was watching the Kew House School. I raced here as a 15-year-old for the first time in the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup. We were beaten in the second day, I think. But I really remember just being totally bewildered by the course. Like, you just don't know where you are. You're used to having markers on a 2,000-metre course at predictable distances. And, you know, in the middle of the course, you're extremely tired and you've just got no idea where the end is. So I felt that was an experience. Came back next year, did a little bit better.
And I think for me, what's lovely about this shot is just seeing the two phases here. So we've got a lovely shot here of Alexander Butler, Finlay Tamlin, Marco Kaplan, Charles Barnett, Ted Chase, Oliver Briggs, Archie Miller, Oliver Holbrook and Jack Politi of Kew House School. Well done, chaps. What a lovely race, and welcome to Henley for this first Tuesday racing here. I think, to me, what I was going to say is that there's two phases here. There's one seasoned school who's been there a few times and managing that energy throughout the regatta, and another who's entering here at Henley and trying to build that speed.
Yeah, I saw from the Kew House School website that they have a 5-year mission. And their 5-year mission was to get to compete at Henley Royal Regatta, and here they are, completion of that 5-year mission. No shame just to be on the track. This is the same track as some of the world's best crews. We have Olympians racing here from multiple countries, and here are the young men of Kew, but ahead of them it's the Shrewsbury School crew. Toby Graham, Matthew Levins, Toby Moore, William Harris, Sebastian Powell, Hugh Rees-Pullman, John Fielden and Jonathan Roberts, coxed by Natalia Toms. Experienced Cox there. Cox the junior men's 8 to gold at the Munich Regatta earlier this year, so they'll be very happy to have her experience. Just looking back again to enjoy the margin they've got here. Nice relaxed row over the last few strokes of the course. Usually if you have an easy race, the Cox will still be talking you through the race plan, even if you're not doing it flat out. So here's where we push. This is where the marker is, just like I was saying, educating people on how it's going to feel at different stages.
Yeah, absolutely, and you want to make sure we're going through that race plan so that it becomes second nature. It won't have been many times that a lot of these people have gone through and these athletes have gone through the course, and so knowing where the markers are, to your point, making sure you know where you are on the course, super important.
We're coming to the last few strokes for Shrewsbury in the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup. They'll be happy to go through nice and cleanly to the next round. 32 crews racing for one trophy donated in 1946 and named after Princess Elizabeth, who visited in that year. Well done to Shrewsbury. Nice, clean, tidy race and a good rehearsal for another one. And then the 5-year mission. Well, they'll need a new mission. Kew House School, won't they? They've competed at Henley. Now they're going to be needing to work on going faster at Henley. And, you know, once you've got the bug, you want to come back and come back and come back. So congratulations, Kew House School, for appearing here for the first time. You can see they've given it absolutely everything, and well done to Kew crossing the line, and confirmation of the result there, which is a clean win for Shrewsbury School in the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup. Lovely appreciation of their opponents, strong cheer as Kew House enter our picture, exhausted, but well, they've been down the Henley track, and for many of these athletes it won't be the last time.